Welcome to TheoTrade. This is Don Kaufman. It is August 24th, 2016. What are we seeing in markets today? I think it moved. The S&P futures are down right now about 14 handles. That is 14 points with just about 5 minutes left to play in the trading day. But some of the volatility today coming from an extremely or unlikely area. Number one, I want to point out this is the S&P 500 sector indices that we started with here. Again, don't worry about any sell-side activity. I mean, listen, the Nasdaq's down 0.8%, right? S&P's here, down 13 again, 0.6%. But look at the laggard on the day is healthcare. Kind of an unusual suspect to be the lagger on the day, if you will. Looking at a few other sectors, you can look at like IT, which is off. But again, you can't get too excited about some of the moves that you're seeing. Its material sector is kind of the second in terms of the losers on the day. It's unusual. We're not getting that correlation, if you will, or kind of confluence. Yeah, we have all 10 sectors down in the S&P 500, but again, negligibly so. The real standout to me in today's trading happens to be in two different areas. One of them we'll start with, which happens to be the XLF. If you haven't looked at the financials today, I think you're missing the boat a little bit. The financials, they're only down 4 cents. And the XLF, it's just completely and totally shrugging off this move and in its entirety. Clearly, Janet Yellen on Friday would likely be the catalyst for the XLF to move. So the XLF shrugs off any of the downside today and simply says, I will wait and see what the Yellenator has to say. As such, we look over to the option chain on the XLF, and the financials, well, they're displaying, again, risk position, and that happens to be, look at the 2-day, the 9-day, and the 16-day. We're actually almost pumped up to a 20% volatility over the next 2 days inside of the XLF. So the financials, if there's going to be some real sell-side activity to this marketplace, you, in the next few days, need to see action in the financials. Plain and simply put, markets aren't going much of anywhere without financials agreeing upon that directional bias. Meaning, we're not selling off until the financials, really kind of not just, obviously move 4 cents is nothing. They got to be leading the pack to the downside. And as I look down the screen, look, Bank of America, it's up today. JP Morgan, yeah, it's up. Oh, Citi, it's up 6 cents. Morgan Stanley, all the usual suspects are hanging in there and hanging in there tough. Now, there's another area that you really want to see kind of progress. And let's go to oil. Now, why do I bring up oil? It's not the market, yeah, but oil was down almost 3% today. Cruise down the screen, go take a look at the XLE. The XLE is your energy sector. Your energy sector, off what? 0.4%. It almost doesn't make sense, does it, right? Oil's getting smacked around on a day-to-day basis. Oil was approaching $50 a barrel, and all of a sudden it turns around, falls flat on its face. It's down, in the mid-40s again. Yet the XLE, the energy sector ETF, again, unimpeded. You really need to see the XLF and the XLE before we're actually going to say, hey, we're moving. I mean, yeah, sure, the NASDAQ futures moved, right? The Russell's rocking a little bit over here. But you want to see some volatility kick in, you're going to have some of your bigger sectors participate. And today is almost laughable in respect to the fact that, again, some of your largest sectors, your energy, your financials, they're extremely resilient today. In fact, if you look at ExxonMobil specifically, it's up right now some 34 cents with a few minutes left to play. Minute and 16 seconds. So another area you want to look at, is this real selling going on? Well, sure, there's selling going on, but if you look at the advanced decline line in the S&P 100, there's only 76 decliners. Again, very unusual circumstance to see the S&Ps down over 10 handles, with the fact that, again, the XLF is massively unchanged in the trading day, but for the most part, again, you're not getting correlation. Okay, this is not an all-out smackdown of the market, not even close. Not to mention the bonds, they're doing much of nothing. Now, looking towards the bottom of the screen, the VXST, that's the 9-day volatility. All right, it's up 15%. I'll hand you that one. Okay, and with that, one of the last things I want to do, before we close it out today, and you can see, hey, buy the dip. In the last few minutes, we were just down, 14, 15 handles in the S&Ps. Now they're only down 11. There's buyers are coming in over here. The next few days are going to be critical and crucial. What you really want to look at and key into in the next 2 days, very, very short duration. There's the bell. Very, very short duration volatility. Now, bear with me, okay? I'm going to open up to the SPX, and most notable in trade today to me, these are 2-day options. They expire none other than, this Friday. Okay, the expected move between now and Friday is just north of $20. Okay, so why point this out? Why spend some time on it? Again, I just displayed there's many sectors right now, energy sector, financials, that didn't display really any sell side activity today. However, the SPX threw off a little bit of a warning today, and I'm going to show you exactly how I pick up on that. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking at yesterday's closing data. Okay, some great information in here. In yesterday's closing data, this is the exact same option we just looked at a moment ago. This is with 3 days obviously remaining. It was trading with an 11% vol and an $18.50 expected move. Now, fast forward a day. Okay, now the option's going to drop a day, right? The volatility expands to 13%, but the expected move increases. So if you think about this, okay, people have this belief that options decay as time moves forward. Well, they're supposed to. Okay, so if you have an option, and that option's trading for $10 just a day into the future, what that option only has, for instance, 3 days to live. If that option has 3 days to live and it's trading at $10, the very next day, that thing may drop off all the way to like $8. But you know what happened? I'll tell you exactly what happened. Between last night and tonight, that $10 option, that thing just bounced up, for instance, to $11. Now, how is that possible? Because volatility increased. So you watch this kind of stuff carefully, and you're going to get a much better feel. Like if the market thinks real intensity and real sell-side activity is going to be apparent in the next few days, they're going to bump up that volatility. We are seeing option pricing is not decaying. It's doing the exact opposite. It's actually going up in price as time is moving forward. I know it's a crazy idea over there, but the volatility got bumped up. A 2% move in volatility is something, that kind of caught my attention. The expected move, $19 and change. Again, don't think about what Janet Yellen has to say out of the Jackson Hole, fiasco. By the way, everything involving the Fed from here on out, it's not a meeting, it's not a soiree, it's a fiasco. So it has nothing to do with it. The markets are seeking catalysts to move. As such, the volatility is getting kind of primed and pumped into it. Again, most notably, the XLF, the financials, stand the most to gain, the most to lose over here. Their volatility, though, has really gotten kind of jacked up over the last few days coming into, again, this meeting, this announcement that's going to occur on Friday. Nevertheless, a very small catalyst prior to Janet Yellen on Friday could also spark some more activity in the markets. We're going to watch very carefully over the next 2 days, see if any of the sell-side activity starts to persist. Granted, we do have the volatility futures bid up by about 40 cents. Again, some of the first real movement that we've seen in what? Well, weeks at this point. A little bit of action over here, but the action came from unexpected sources. Again, looking at the S&Ps, they're closed now. The financials were massively unchanged, literally unchanged on the trading day. With that, again, thanks for tuning in here to TheoTrade. Again, the theme today, I think it moved. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.